Happy New Year. The Sunday six pack starts off with the Jets and the Seahawks. Cam, some big news developing out of New York. Mike White is back in. Zach Wilson won't even dress.
Are we going to see a Strebler sighting? I don't know. Against that
Yes.
Seattle defense, probably not, Dave. As a Winnipeg Blue Bomber fan and me, a fan of the CFL, it was great to see Chris Strebler in the game and actually like doing something. Hey, you can tell one thing, the guy tries hard and he goes for it. As for Seattle, this team is falling apart. I'm a fan of this team, but you know what, Dave? It's been a good year. Let's call it out for what it is, but they've hit a wall. I know they're at home. They're getting the Jets are laying 1.5 in this game, but I got to say the Jets defense, how are they going to throw against Sauce Gardner? Geno Smith can't do it against anybody right now. This team can't get out of their own way. I lean Jets in this spot. Their defense is good enough to beat Seattle.
Yeah, I'm on board with that as well. This is an interesting matchup. And who would have thought the Panthers and the Buccaneers would be playing for a division title or close to that? I'll lay it out for you. The Panthers have 2 games. They win them both, and they're the division champs.
I love this Paulie Panther, Dave. I tell you, I got these guys with futures when they're way back to win the division, and this can become a reality if they win this game. They were absolutely fantastic against Detroit. Great play calling, running, and Sam Darnold's just not turning over the ball. This looks like a different football team. As for Tampa Bay, can you call them the Tampa Bay Rabbitfoots? I can't believe these guys every single game. Tom Brady in the fourth quarter. It's like a bad movie that keeps on running. You know what? I get it. Short spread Tampa Bay. I lean with the Panthers here. Better defense. You know what? Actually, Tampa Bay, both defenses are good, Dave, but the one thing is Carolina's efficiently running their offense right now. I think they're better than Tampa Bay. Give me the Cats.
Yeah, I'm on board with that as well. Shut down a pretty good Lions offense as well. That is massive. Let's go on to the Jaguars and the Texans. The Jags, winners of 3 in a row, and they beat a pretty good group of 3 when you look at Titans, Cowboys, Jets. Those aren't cupcake games. They have a cupcake game here against the Texans. Are they taking the foot off the brake? Or gas, I should say.
Yeah, you know what, Dave? Gas, brakes, whatever. All I know is Jacksonville, their stock has never been higher. And like the stock market, you have to sell this stock. I've been on it. You've been on it. We've been riding the Jaguars a lot this year. But right now, I'll tell you, this Houston Texans team, they're not going away. They almost look at them, Dave, versus Dallas, Kansas City winning outright. I know Tennessee's struggling, but they're covering their last couple of games and covering well. They're getting 4.5 at home. The Jaguars, everyone and their mother loves this team right now. I lean Houston in this spot. I think it's a tight game. Give me the home dog.
Yeah, something else to consider as well. The Jaguars are 1-5 against the number in their last 6 games against the Texans. Some teams don't play well against others, even though they should. We move on. The Dolphins and the Patriots. Tua likely will not play in this game. We do not know exactly his status at time of taping, but the Dolphins are also 2-8 against the number in their last 10 games in New England. How do you see this one?
It's a tough one, Dave. I had New England last week. I thought they were going to cover, lost that game by the hook. Big mistakes by the Patriots late in that game after a brutal first half. As for Miami, Tua was hurt in that game versus Green Bay. It was hard to watch. He's got to sit. New England, they got one thing they got is a defense. They held Cincinnati in check for a half of football. Dave, I don't like this, but I'm going to lean Patriots in this spot. Very difficult game. Miami can't get out of their own way right now.
Yeah. Somehow the Green Bay Packers are 7-8 and still in a playoff push. They're not quite there just yet, but they're in that position. Vikings don't have a lot to play for. Is this a game where the Green Bay Packers might have a little bit of an edge just because of the situation?
They do have an edge, Dave, but I think the Vikings are being disrespected in this spot. Green Bay laying 3. Have they been that good, or was Miami that bad? That's the thing. They played the Rams. Who cares? Minnesota on the road getting 3 points. If this game was at home in a pick'em situation, I'd probably go pretty hard on Minnesota. That field goal is good enough for me. I lean with the Vikings in this spot. I don't care about the weather. Jefferson can't be stopped, and I think they're going to run the ball a lot against Green Bay. I like Minnesota outright. I'll take the points.
Yeah, mismatch on paper, definitely. Let's go to Sunday Night Football, a clash. They call it a black and blue clash, literally, because that's what their jerseys look like as well. It's the Steelers in Baltimore against the Ravens. Baltimore right now, the number 1 seed of the wild card position. They still have a chance to knock off the Cincinnati Bengals, who have a very tough game on Monday night. How do you see this one between 2 classic rivals?
Tough game, Dave. This is a real tough one. Gone back and forth on this game. First Pittsburgh, now leaning Baltimore. I don't care who the quarterback is for Baltimore. Huntley, Jackson, it doesn't matter to me. I just think they will do enough on offense to beat Pittsburgh. But when Watt's in that Pittsburgh lineup, this team is totally different. I got to lay 3 with Baltimore. It's going to be really close to the number, but I lean with the Raven. I think they win this game by 4 and just cover that number of 3. Very tough game, Dave. Could be a bloodbath in Baltimore.
Yeah, definitely could be. Week 17 is shaping up to be one of the best weeks of the regular season as we turn the calendar on a new year.